there folks, and welcome back to another speed paint video. This week we're going to be designing some dragons based on different types of cookies. This is partly inspired by the fact it was my sister's birthday this week, and I thought this might be kind of fun because she likes to bake cookies and this is kind of on theme for that. And I wanted to make a new perk for my Ko-fi members since this is going to be a free wallpaper pack for them. So without further ado, let's get into the speed paint. Our first dragon is inspired by a sugar cookie, and there are a lot of different types of sugar cookies out there, so I was kind of thinking in my head like what type I wanted to do for this, since you have like just general regular sugar cookies, there's ones that have frosting on them, and I ended up going with one that is a little bit contentious, I feel like, among some people. Let me know your opinion on this cookie, but it's those like cheap, soft, dry-ass Walmart-style sugar cookies that you can get, those ones where it's like it's just a soft cookie, arguably a very dry cake with frosting on it. I love those things. That's one of few baked goods I can get from a supermarket that is not going to give me allergen issues. If you've been following the channel a while, you know I have a lot of food allergies, especially peanuts and tree nuts, which means I don't usually get to eat things from bakeries. I usually have to rely on things from home. So this is actually one of few products that fairly consistently, at least where I live, is available, guaranteed to be nut-free. So my friends sometimes like to get me and my sister these whenever we're hosting like a party or something, because it's something nice and easy for them to buy that is definitely safe for us to eat. And I love these things. I think they're quite delicious. I don't mind that they're dry. I think it's honestly fine. And I make plenty of baked goods at home, and this is something that's pretty different from what I make at home, perhaps because it's so dry and weird. So I thought it would be fun to do a dragon based on this cookie that I think most people don't really like because they have better options. But for me, I think it's kind of a fun little novelty to have once in a while. So I was a little bit torn as to what colors I would do, since usually I see a whole bunch of different types for this cookie depending on the time of year. Like, there's different ones depending on different holidays, like Halloween ones, or like Valentine's ones, or Christmas ones. I ended up going with like a somewhat holiday neutral design here, with blue icing with rainbow sprinkles, which is something I kept seeing pop up regardless of like which brand it was for these cookies. So I decided I would go with that sort of design. I mean, I love blue. Obviously, you can tell by my channel's mascot that it's one of my favorite colors. And I thought it would be fun to draw all the sprinkles on this design as well. This dragon is facing away from us, so that way we can get a really good look at its icing-covered back and all the little sprinkles it's got all over its body. And its horns are also two different colors, because I thought that would be cute to make them look like really big sprinkles. Honestly, this was reminding me of a lot of the skin designs I made for Flight Rising a couple years ago. Honestly, I want to get back into Flight Rising. Maybe I'll be playing it while I'll be doing Art Fight this year. Any other Flight Rising heads in chat? I'm sure there are. Anyway, I had a lot of fun drawing this very sprinkly dragon and looking at pictures of this really cool little cookie. I remember I saw a name for the style of sugar cookie that this is, but I can't find it anymore. So if you know the term for this, let me know in the comments, because I know there is a term for this specific style of sugar cookie and I can't find it again. Please let me know if you can remember it or if you managed to find it, because I'd really like to know. Anyway, I had fun with this dragon. It's very cute. I like this cookie. I think it's a lot of fun. Next up, we have a cookie that is definitely a lot more popular, although I would say it's still just as common in a supermarket, and that is the classic, regular Oreo. I actually almost did an entire video here that would just be different weird Oreo flavors, because Oreo, the company, the cookie type, Hibisco just has made a lot of really bizarre Oreo flavors over the years, and some of them have been pretty good, and some of them have been just odd, and I've never tried them, so I can't speak to how good they are. My personal favorite variety of Oreo was the Heads and Tails, which I think is discontinued, but I'm having trouble verifying that, so I guess let me know if you've been able to find this in your region. The Heads or Tails Oreo was one where it was a vanilla cookie on one side and a chocolate cookie on the other. I just really like the sweet and chocolate balance on that. It was just so good. I used to eat that a lot when I was still a kid. But I haven't seen them in probably over 10 years, so I suspect that at the very least they're no longer available where I live. Anyway, the classic Oreo is a nice looking cookie. I feel like it gives like a lot of good inspiration for a dragon because it has like the very iconic color palette is primarily black and white with a little bit of those like light accents from the engravings on the cookie. And the engravings themselves can feel like they can be integrated well into like lizard scales or dragon scales, so I thought that would be kind of fun. So I decided I would go with like a very long dragon that feels like it's really got the layers like the cookie does. And it's got a bunch of wings that play with the black and white striping aspect. And I thought it would be fun to make a couple of its aspects have like a white ring for like a nice dramatic effect on making this thing look like a very intense little dragon. And this thing was just a lot of fun to draw. I like doing the little like engraving type accents as well to give it the texture that the Oreo cookie has. And here's a confession, by the way. I called this an Oreo in the file, but to be honest, I actually kind of prefer Hydrox. Like when I'm eating the cookie by itself, I think I kind of prefer Oreo, but honestly, overall, I think I prefer the original Hydrox cookie, which is like the same thing, but it's a different brand. It has a higher chocolate ratio, which I really like. And it really goes really well with ice cream, so if you ever like want added like a cookie that's like chocolatey and creamy into an ice cream, I highly recommend using Hydrox instead of Oreo, because I think it just pairs better well with the ice cream. I don't know, that's just me, that's just my vibe. Let me know if you try that, because it is really good. Maybe I'll do that during the summer now that the hot weather's coming back. Maybe that's a treat I'll enjoy myself. But anyway, here's this little Oreo dragon. It's very long and spindly with lots of fun stripes, and just having a lot of fun with this like black and white color palette. Truly just a lovely little dragon. Next up is a cookie that I have indeed made at home, at least with my family, and that's a Pinwheel cookie. There's actually a whole bunch of different types of Pinwheel cookies that come in different flavors and colors and different varieties and stuff. Basically, it's just a roll of dough, essentially, and then you cut it up from a bar and just cook it like little slices. Not too different from the way those like classic Pillsbury sugar cookies are, except this is just a very simple kind you can make at home. I think the spiral is very fun to look at. I love a spiral in a design. If you've been following the channel for a while, I'm sure you've seen that I just love incorporating that sort of shape in various character designs, and this is definitely no exception. It's a very long and spindly dragon that really embraces the long and spindly aspect of the spiral. I tried to make its design as round as possible, taking a lot of like worm-like shapes as opposed to like classic Western dragon type shapes. I made its horns very spirally, its wings are very spirally, and this one's based on like a very classic like vanilla and chocolate sort of one, since that's the type that we've made at home the most, although I have seen a lot of other varieties as well. Like when I was looking up reference pictures, I saw a lot of like Christmas themed ones that were like peppermint and chocolate or like peppermint and vanilla that had like red or green mixed in with the colors as well, which I did think about adding here, but I decided I would commit to the chocolate here because I wanted to work on a primarily warm colored piece. And I thought it would be fun to work with like the brown and white again, but in a very different way than the Oreo design did. This one's definitely more warm toned and leans more into the white aspect as opposed to like the dark brown from the Oreo design. And I just had a lot of fun incorporating spirals in as many places as I could in this design and really making this feel like not just the cookie itself, but like the roll of dough you make before you cut it up into the individual cookies. So really just taking a lot of inspiration from different parts of the baking process for this type of cookie. Honestly, I could make a whole wallpaper pack of just Pinwheel cookie dragons in different flavors. I think that could be kind of fun, so I guess let me know if you want to see that one of these days. I think that would be pretty cute. But this little guy came out pretty adorable, and I'm very pleased with this very spirally design. And the last one we have today goes by a name that I actually have never heard before, which is the chocolate crinkle cookie. Which apparently this is the common name this thing goes by, but I've always known this as a tiger cookie, which is where I kind of went for this character design. It's a lot more feline in shape, although I also took inspiration from things like Foo Dogs, and really just going for like a more mammalian look for this dragon. Although I also made it have very bat-like wings, again leaning into the mammalian aspect here. And I tried to make its fur pattern really emphasize the tiger-like aspect of the cookie that I remember it being called. My grandma always called these tiger cookies, and we would make them not just like as the chocolate dough with powdered sugar on it and then you bake it. That's usually how people mostly do it. But we would also put like a Hershey Kiss or some other chocolate on top of it. I feel like I remember one time she did it with like Rolos on top, which I didn't really freak with because I don't really like caramel that much. But man, this is a very good cookie. I love these things. The only reason I don't make them more is because they're a goddamn mess because of all that powdered sugar. It truly gets everywhere when you eat them. And I am not exactly sure where Grandma picked up the term tiger cookie from it, but my guess is that around the time when she started baking these was when Tiger Woods was like super duper popular, and she was watching a lot of like recipes and stuff on TV around this time. So my guess is that she saw a TV thing that called it a tiger cookie because they were trying to relate it back to a very popular celebrity, which was Tiger Woods. Which I guess makes sense, because it is a cookie that looks like it has like tiger stripes. It looks a bit like a white tiger, so I always thought that made sense. Although, as an adult, whenever I looked up tiger cookies, I never saw this type of cookie. I always saw some other cookie that was more sculpted to look more typically like an animal, like an actual tiger, like usually an orange one, you know, the usual color that they have. I basically never saw anything with like this black and white one, so I was like, oh, I guess nobody knows what this is. Maybe it's like some recipe grandma saw on TV and it's not that popular. Nope, psych, it actually has a completely different name that I never knew it by growing up. So it's the chocolate crinkle. It has a few other names as well, according to the Wikipedia page. And it's a good cookie. I really like it. I haven't made them in years, but I honestly, maybe I'll get back on that after I finish this video. Maybe I'll bake some for the summer. I think that could be kind of fun. Usually summer is when I want to enjoy a cold treat, but I mean, it's beautiful weather and I'd love to bake, so I don't know, something about the sunshine and the good weather makes me want to cook something, and baking is a fun way to do that. Make it an all-day project to make the house smell all good. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Maybe I'll make some tiger cookies after the video. Anyway, very funny story for me with this cookie. Let me know if you have like a colloquial name you call this thing. Let me know if you've ever had or made it before, because I always thought it was like a very specific thing, but maybe it's not, and I just simply didn't know the correct SEO for looking for it online. And with that, that's all that I've got for you guys today, so thank you all so much for watching! Let me know which one of these cookie dragons was your favorite, and give me any suggestions for any other cookie dragons you'd like to see in the future. I'd love to make another pack of these someday, so give me some ideas if you have any cool or weird cookies you'd like to see turned into a dragon design. And if you like these illustrations, they are actually available for free if you are one of my Ko-fi members. So if you happen to be one of my Ko-fi members, you can download these for free. They are cropped to be like iPad or tablet wallpapers, but I think they should work fine for any vertical monitor that is about this ratio. They're nice and high res, so hopefully they should look great on your tablet. And thank you, by the way, to my Ko-fi members for helping to make this video possible. My Ko-fi members help my income stay a little bit more consistent, and help me live out my dream of being a full-time artist. I'm going to be moving in the future, so every bit of support I get from my Ko-fi members seriously helps with that goal and making that more feasible for me. If you would like to join them, you can check out my Ko-fi page in the description below, where you can join for as little as $1 a month. And that gets you not only your name in the credits, but a whole bunch of other fun free stuff on the shop, such as this wallpaper pack I made today. And of course, it's still June, which means it's still Pride Month, which means the Mothman Pride Project is still live. If you would like to support the channel and get your own fun Pride-themed Mothman sticker, pin, or charm, go support the project over on Kickstarter. It's called Mothman Pride Collection Volume 3. You can either search for it on Kickstarter, or you can just click the link in the description below. Either way, I'd really love to see more support on this project. We are nearly funded. I'd love to reach the goal, so I can rest assured that we are indeed printing this project this year. So help support the project, help unlock all 30 of the designs, and let's get this thing funded. Thank you, by the way, to all of you who joined from last week's video, which was the art fight video. It totally blew up, like, way more than I ever thought it would have, so if you're here from that, which there's a good chance you are, thank you so much for following along the channel and watching that video. And thank you again for watching this one, too. It's really cool that there are so many of you here. There's now 2,000 of you, so now I gotta come up with a cool 2K special, so I'll probably put up a poll for that, either, like, after I finish recording here, or maybe sometime this weekend. I don't know, but thank you guys so much. It's really awesome to see all that support, and to hear so many of your art fight stories. It, like, is so heartwarming to know that so many of you decided to join Art Fight because of the video. That is, like, so awesome to hear. I really am excited to see you all on the battlefield when the event begins. It's so cool. There are so many of you, and I hope we all have a lot of fun making art together. And with that, I think that's all that I've got for you guys today in this video. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next week with another art video. And in the meantime, why don't you guys go out there and make some art?